Hey everybody, welcome back. So it is now the time in Arizona where I tend to be the absolute least motivated to do anything. It is still 100 degrees out. It's not 115, thank God, but it's still hitting 100 degrees during the day, only dropping down into the 80s at night. But I know in 2 weeks that's all going to change. And I'm filming this, what is this, September 15th or 16th, something like that. I know in 2 weeks it's going to change. It'll be down into the mid to upper 80s in the daytime, and it'll be dropping down into the upper 60s, low 70s at night. So I tend to just say, that can wait 2 weeks. And the problem with me is this year, I started this 2 weeks ago. In July, I would have just gritted my teeth and made myself do stuff. But now I can just put stuff off, and I have been putting stuff off. So now I'm kicking myself in the ass. I've got so much car work to do, so much 3D printing stuff to do, so much other stuff to do that I just got to kick myself in the butt and get it started. So the first thing I've been doing is cleaning up and straightening up everywhere. And I'm finding all this stuff I bought on a whim. And you guys watch Uncle Tony? Uncle Tony's Garage? Uncle Tony and me, we're a lot alike in some ways. We start these vast projects with half-vast ideas, and we get part way in and realize, well, we don't have anywhere near what we need to complete that, or maybe that wasn't such a good idea, or we take off in a different direction and stuff gets pushed to one side. It's like his 4-liter Jeep engine is now going to go into a Belvedere, and it's going to be hot rodded instead of being his daily driver. I'm the same way. So I'm finding all this stuff that I started, and I mean, it's all over the place. I got all these projects that I've started, and all this stuff I need to, that were projects or sent to me for review that I need to sell. And one thing I found that I bought on a kind of a whim, I think I bought it from Temu, and these are soldering helpers. And the idea is, and I'm going to get it, that you put your wires in these little clamps on the ends, and then you can squeeze it together and the tool locks in place, and it'll hold your wires together while you solder. Yeah, I know, I've got 4 or 5 of these things, but when you're working under the hood of a car or under the dash, or you're laying underneath the back end doing taillight or trailer wiring, there's no place for this. That just doesn't work. That's a benchtop tool. And I don't do that much soldering on a benchtop. Most of it's under the hood or under a car or under a dash or something like that. So I bought these on a whim and I completely forgot about them. I think I paid $7-8 for them. And to be honest, for $7 or $8, the quality, I would say these are easily, if these were hanging on that little rotating display at Napa, these would probably cost 18, 20, 25 bucks, somewhere in that range. And that's about the quality level of them. Everything's riveted. There's nothing screwed together. It's all just, sheet metal. So, and honestly, they don't need to be super heavy duty. So you know what I want to do? I want to take a look at them. I want to see if they'll work, or if it's something I should just toss in the trash and just keep moving. So anyway, I got a little bit of stuff set up here. And yeah, you know what? I've got these things. These are the little things that, you put on, and they're a combination of solder in the center and then heat shrink tube and sealant near the outside. And you stick your wires in. And I've tried them a couple times. I've seen people try and do it with matches, with Bic lighters. I've tried them more than once. And I go from not enough heat to really make me think the solder is melted and flowing, or the heat shrink and the sealant is all down real good, to so much heat that I turn the thing into a puddle and I melt it. And that's been my struggle. And you know what? I'm sure it's me. I'm sure if I practiced with them, I could get better with them. But I've been soldering stuff and using regular heat shrink tube for so long that I'm just thinking that's probably where I'm going to stay. Now, these might also come in handy if you're using those. But I think you can kind of, with these, I think you can kind of put the wires in and then squeeze the solder ring down to hold it together. I need to practice with those some more, but you know what? That's for another day. Let's check this tool out. Let's see if it's something worth using, or if it's something I should just pitch in the thrift store box. Okay, first off, bear with me. This is not where I normally do my bench soldering. I normally do that inside, but I came out here today because I really do need to straighten up my workshop and get going. And it's only 95 degrees out, headed to 103, but it's only 95 out right now. So I thought I would do a bunch of straightening up out here. Then I found this little tool and I thought, let's make a quickie video and see if we can have some fun. So bear with me because I'm really not set up to do soldering out here. So I got a couple of short chunks of 18 gauge wire. I got them stripped. I used another tool that I bought on a whim. This is like the $6 or $7 Harbor Freight wire stripper. And I bought this because I was headed to out to somebody's house to help them do a little bit of work. And they didn't have a stripper, and I wasn't going to keep using my knife, my Swiss Army knife over, to strip 50 pieces of wire. So we ran down to the local Harbor Freight, and I picked this up, and it was only like $6 or $7, and to be honest with you, it works fine. How well it will work fine, I don't know, but for now it works fine. So the idea of this tool is it's got these little springy things here. So the idea is you slip your wire into this notch, and that little springy thing kind of holds it. Let's get these open a little bit more. And this is the first time I've used these. And so you slip your wire into your little spring thing there, and that's supposed to hold it, and it appears to do it. And like that and like that. One of my biggest pet peeves and biggest annoyances is trying to solder something and I can't figure out how to keep the wires held together. Yes, you can use one of these, works great on the bench. Any place outside the bench, they don't work very well at all. So the idea is you put your wires there and then you kind of pull these together until they line up. Probably going to have to scoot them forward a little bit more. Let's give myself a little bit of mesh going on there. We'll kind of give them a twist like that. And then this holds it together while you solder it. So let's see how that works. I'm going to give myself way too much soldering paste. Soldering iron. Are we working? We're plugged in. My soldering iron, this is my favorite old Weller Expert. And the problem is the bulb died in it and I haven't gotten another one. So here's the problem here. Now you need something to hold this together. Now assuming this might be hanging under a dash or sitting on a floor or something, you almost need something to hold this. Let's see if we can simulate something. How about this? So there you're under the dash. You've got your wires held together there. And you got your soldering iron and your solder. We put some paste on it. I can already tell that these might have, I can see a use case for these. Is it perfect? I don't know, but it certainly might remove some of the frustration. Let's get this in here and wipe it off. And trying to do this, wrapping my arms around the camera tripod. Guess you can imagine how well that's going to work for me. And get your wires out of there, and Bob's your uncle. Not the best solder I've ever done, but I'm going to be honest with you, I've done a lot worse ones than that. So, for $7 or $8 or whatever Temu is charging for these, are they worth it? I think there's a use case for these. Under the dash, under the hood, someplace where something like this just isn't going to work. Would these be better if they had a magnet on them? It might be. I'm not sure exactly where you'd put a magnet on these that it would help, but I could see maybe someplace putting a magnet on these. Anyway, for $7, $8, $9, I forget what I paid for them. It wasn't much. Got them, I think, AliExpress or Temu. I don't link to Temu because you can't link to individual products on Temu. So, or at least I haven't been able to. And my links on AliExpress never seem to last very long. So I will put a link to Amazon if I can find them, and I'll put a link to AliExpress as well. But I think you probably find them on your favorite site that sells this kind of stuff. So yeah, for the price, I think there is absolutely a use case scenario. They are very light duty, but then again, they don't need to be anything but light duty for this. Anyway, I'm going to get back to cleaning up and straightening up and giving stuff away and throwing stuff away and trying to get ready for when it is only 80 degrees out instead of, 95 or 100. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this. And if you didn't, maybe you can laugh at my bad soldering. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye for now.